Well, good morning and welcome to lesson 34. I could see peace instead of this. So I'll just read the lesson. This is the first one that really gets into the idea of peace and also really references our human emotions as being depressed or things like that. And there's a lot of emphasis on drugs, antidepressive drugs and things, like happy drugs that can be prescribed by doctors and psychologists, whatever now these days, but psychiatrists rather. People are, and I get a lot of people that say to me, "Oh, I'm on antidepressants. I'm okay now. I'm on antidepressants. I feel good." But antidepressants deal with the effect, right? The effect. Depression is the effect, right? The cause is the thinking, right? So there's no drug. I mean, well, I think there is actually, but it turns you into a potato. But there's no what would you call it? Practical drug that changes the way you think. You have to do the work yourself. And so I love this lesson because it sort of puts the emphasis for doing that on yourself. You're applying it to those thoughts. And, such a world, a fast-paced world of media and, where we're just spoon-fed images and information, and we absorb a constancy 24/7 of things in our awareness that validate the dualistic thought system, which is depressing, right? Which is separative, which is divisive, which is fucked. And so it's nice to take back your own power, to reclaim the power of your mind from the idea that I might be subject to things outside of myself that are causing me to be depressed, and realize that, hang on, no, it's my thoughts about what I think I see out there that I've given a meaning to, saying these are bad thoughts or this is an upsetting situation that is making me depressed. Right? It's going on in here, and it can ungo on in here. Right? You can replace what this does with something else that uses the same familiar landscape to bring you moments of humor and laughter and realization and all that sort of thing, which serve your true purpose, which is to get your ass out of here. Right? So in doing the lessons for the day, what we're attempting to do then is to give up the world and follow me, which is Jesus's admonition to the merchant on the road, and to anyone who will listen. It's like, this world is not your home. Where I'm going, you will also come, but not just yet. And give up the world and follow me. You have to practice the principles of your own particular reassociative, I don't like to call it a path, but process, and bring into your own awareness a stability of thinking, a stability of mind, what would you call it? A validity of thinking that serves your new goal, which is inner peace. So anyway, we'll do the lesson. Lesson 34, I could see peace instead of this. The idea for today begins to describe the conditions that prevail in the other way of seeing. You don't see that way now, okay? This is the other way of seeing. You're learning about it now, and you'll see that way later on. Right? Concepts and books and things that you're learning from are not the other way of seeing. Okay? Peace of mind is clearly an internal matter. It must begin with your own thoughts and then extend outward. It is from your peace of mind that a peaceful perception of the world arises. 3 longer practice periods are required for today's ideas. One in the morning and one in the evening is advised, with an additional one to be undertaken at any time in between which seems most conducive to readiness. All applications should be done with your eyes closed. It is your inner world to which the applications of today's ideas should be made. Some 5 minutes of mind searching are required for each of the longer practice periods. Search your mind for fear thoughts, anxiety-provoking situations, offending personalities or events, or anything else about which you are harboring unloving thoughts. Note them all casually, repeating the idea for today slowly as you watch them arise in your mind, and let each one go to be replaced by the next. If you begin to experience difficulty in thinking of specific subjects, continue to repeat the idea to yourself in an unhurried manner without applying it to anything in particular. Be sure, however, not to make any specific exclusions. The shorter applications are to be frequent and made whenever you feel your peace of mind is threatened in any way. Oh, over there, oh, look, something shiny, or something black, something horrible, something beautiful. Peace is in the middle. It's not the yin or the yang. All right. The purpose is to protect yourself from temptation throughout the day. To protect yourself from temptation throughout the day. If a specific form of temptation arises in your awareness, the exercise should take this form. I could see peace in this situation instead of what I now see in it. Right? And temptation extends to everything in the world that tries to distract you out of your sense of inner peace, away from your point of I am. Okay, so or here and the now. Temptation is one of those things that is like a tricky little mechanism in the mind that is born out of an idea of needs and wants and validation and all that sort of stuff. Validate me, I need a new car. All of that stuff. It's like the only one need you have is to know your Father, and that's it. Your Heavenly Father, your Creator, your source, the force, the Higgs boson, whatever you want to call it. I can see peace in this situation instead of what I now see in it. If the inroads on your peace of mind take the form of more generalized adverse emotions, here we go, right? Pardon me. If the inroads on your peace of mind take the form of more generalized adverse emotions such as depression, anxiety, or worry, use the idea in its original form. I can see peace instead of this. If you find you need more than one application of today's idea to help you change your mind in any specific context, try to take several minutes and devote them to repeating the idea until you feel some sense of relief. It will help you if you tell yourself specifically, I can replace my feelings of depression, anxiety, or worry, or my thoughts about this situation, personality, or event with peace. Right, and I mentioned in yesterday's lesson, just to reference the past, I mentioned in yesterday's lesson about when I sat on the bench and I told myself 100 times, there's nothing to worry about, right? Which was told to me by Jesus. And by about the 60th time, it brought this insanely, incredibly, beautifully, wonderfully sense of inner peace. Like just this calm descended over me, right? It took that amount of repetitive assertion of the fact that there is nothing to worry about for me to actually hear it, for it to sink in past the hubbub of what was going on that was attempting me to think that there was perhaps maybe something I should worry about. Right? Mind training is training for a reason. You have to put in the effort, you have to put in the time, you have to put in the vigilance to be watchful for your sense of inner peace. Right? How's my day to day? Was I peaceful, or was it all over the place? It's one of the things I like about, I think, the AA program, where we review our day for 5 minutes, at the end of the day, and just make mental notes of where we could have done better and what things we need to look at and all that sort of stuff, wherein peace was completely absent from the situation and I was worried, depressed, anxious, whatever, or judgmental or grievous about something. It's been a long time since I've done that, 20-something years now. So, all right, well, that's it. That's the idea for today. All right, I can see peace instead of this. Put it into practice. Make a mental note. Write it on your arm if you have to. Set an alarm clock on your phone if you have to do it the 3 times a day. And then throughout the day as often as you can, all that sort of thing. So I can see peace instead of this. And tomorrow, my mind is part of God's. I'm very holy. We're getting into the holy lessons tomorrow, which is really cool. A lot of people like those. I'm a bit of an adventurer. I like the lessons that really get in and confront my bullshit, because I got plenty of it. And my mind is part of God's. I'm very holy, and I love those lessons too. But you'll find that you'll have a lot more, perhaps, resistance to the ideas that you're very holy, right? Because we're entrenched with these horrific ideas of ourselves. I'm unworthy, I'm depressed, I'm blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, I'm very holy. It's like, what the fuck? Can't be talking about me. Me as I've forgotten me to be, not me as I find myself here in the world, although it still does encompass my presence within the world. Holiness goes with us wherever we go. And until then, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.